What's up, everybody, and welcome back to That's Crazy to Me with Ace and Moss.
What's up, y'all?
Today, we are talking about what I consider to be a very serious topic. And frankly, it is scaring me. What is up with the rampant censorship going on right now,
Ooh.
just everywhere in general? It's worrying. It's getting to a ridiculous degree. And I've taken the point of going sort of from what I think is the least to most worrying, starting with what YouTube's been doing recently, like the limited ads or no ads, just because of cursing.
Yeah. mm,
Now,
I,
I understand maybe not wanting to give ads to like people talking about, you know, far too serious topics to where it might be, exploiting those topics. I'm okay with, whatever. But if someone's just sort of talking and they want to drop a few shits here and there, who really cares? Your thoughts?
my thoughts about that, and that's a good point about the censorship. My thoughts is okay. Let me give you an example. That the algorithm. This was back when that serious time a couple years ago when everybody was getting sick, and that I like to call it the Coco 19 because if you say the real thing, you're not gonna be part of the algorithm, and that's a censorship. My thing is, you can't even say something that's going on in real life that we all around, and you can't even say that without being like punished for it. Come on, man, that's dumb. That's like that, like that's right there. I feel like is a small attack on our freedom of speech, and that we can't even say certain things like me and you is a small YouTube channel. We trying to grow.
Right.
And now we gotta step on eggshells dang near or our stuff not gonna get shown on everything. And it's like that's not fair for us because I'm like, come on now, we are just trying to provide information and jokes. Information and
Right.
jokes. And sometimes we might slip up and say something like that. Now I don't want to worry
I mean,
for our show to be like, part of the algorithm. We said this one little thing, and it's just crazy how YouTube is doing it like that.
hmm, here's hoping things change with the change in leadership, but I'm kind of doubtful because I feel like one of the main reasons they crack down like this is that apparently advertisers just sort of don't like it, probably because it's harder to reach kids that way. I say stop exploiting kids, advertisers,
It
but that's just me.
I thought,
Regardless, they're letting money talk and overcrowd their senses, and it's leading to, like, okay, for instance, right? A lot of YouTubers, bigger YouTubers, people that actually, I would say matter to the website, they're getting hit with all of these, takedowns, or, maybe not takedowns, but like demonetizations of even old videos that made them money
yeah, oh yeah,
because
yeah.
of the various reasons we've listed, and it's pushing them off of the platform, or at least causing them to have to go different ways. Patreon's a much bigger thing now
Mm-hmm.
than it was before because YouTube's, partnership laws are getting
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It's getting like real ridiculous. That come on now, you can't even do like certain stuff without your show. You like you have to get paid. Like okay, let me give you one example. I used to watch this. I watched this dude, Team CT. Right. His content is mostly like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's mostly like real stuff that happens in like Los Angeles. It's like um his Like it's like silly stuff, right? But it's not fitting with the YouTube guidelines. Like I used to see his video dang near every time something posts, right? I used to see his video. Even when I was, even if I wasn't subscribed to him, I would still see his video in the algorithm because I used to watch him a lot.
Right.
Right now, I don't even see him in the algorithm no more. I kid you not. I could go in my YouTube and right now, and I pull up right now what's the first video I'm gonna see in my algorithm. Oh. First video in my algorithm is wow. Mom produces child to her own kids. Steve Wilkos show.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then
All right.
yeah, and then a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff. But it's crazy that you had like for even it's harder. I feel like YouTube is harder for content creators to do what they want to do when when it comes to monitoring every little thing, and then stuff won't happen because you feel like you said one thing wrong. Now, how do you feel about that? That YouTube is kind of hindering on the freedom of speech.
Uh, uh, well, one, no one should ever hinder freedom of speech.
Right.
Now there is a difference between stuff like hindering freedom of speech and just calling out liars when you see them. That is
Mm-hmm.
not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I wanted to bring up was the fact that YouTube's not even extremely clear on what will get you demonetized.
Oh
I've seen
yeah.
many cases of content creators who would, YouTube would flag their video for having, say, too much profanity. And then they'd go in and they'd, look at their entire video and go, this video is an hour long. I cursed 13 times. That is not the majority of the video. Only to, one, YouTube would, deny their appeal. They'd have to take it to somewhere like the cesspool that is Twitter, where then after a lot of backlash, which only works for larger creators because smaller creators who don't have fan bases yet can't get anywhere that way, then they'll monetize the video again, only to demonetize it again a week later for no reason. It's sketchy, it's not cool, and I feel like one of the things is they probably just have robots doing everything.
Right. They will have like robots doing everything, and then it's just like what what can you do when in that situation? You you want is it okay? I got a question. Is censorship, in your opinion, is censorship hard for? Do you think you could get around it and grow still, or do you think it's harder for small YouTubers to grow that have even made that fresh point yet?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase the question? I don't think I got that.
Okay, you know how I talk. You know I'm kind of fast on my words. With censorship, with all this crazy censorship going around, do you think it's possible for small channels to grow?
I think it is. Yes, it might be a little more difficult, slightly, but if people are doing something that people want to see, even if you have to tiptoe around some stuff, it's possible. Uh, like, say, I mean, I guess I don't really have any examples, but if people are used to censoring themselves already, it'll be easier to acclimate to YouTube's current climate. A lot of this stuff is hitting people who were already making money from contents and now are suddenly getting hit with new rules that don't quite match what they were doing before. And it's
Mm-hmm.
causing them to have to, scramble to change their entire way of doing things in
Right.
order to keep up. But someone coming in fresh to this will probably just be able to go, oh, well, I can't really say any of that stuff. Okay. No need to go in and edit their own videos and take stuff out in order to fix it. They can just exist with their contents written in such a way that they won't get in trouble until YouTube decides to change the rules again.
Right. And that's another thing. YouTube is a constant change of rules. You always YouTubers right now always got to stay on their feet. And I wonder if another like version of YouTube out there where people can post videos, if that ever comes to the thing, do you think that would be competition with YouTube? If it ever comes to the thing, do you think something could be in competition with YouTube that most people will go there? I feel like TikTok is on that level because people will just go there. Then they will get censored. Then that will get censorship.
I
Wait,
was gonna,
wait, I'm sorry.
sorry, I was gonna say that that kind of brings us to our next thing because TikTok is next on the list because their censorship is just as bad, if not worse.
Right. Yeah. They would take down. They would take down stuff. Yeah. And it. And I wonder what is the leading cause of all this censorship? Like, if you,
Money.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
They didn't care until the advertisers started talking about, oh, we don't want to have our ad on, people who do this because their parents aren't going to let kids watch this. So our ads aren't going to reach who we want.
right.
Kids are watching whatever they want anyway.
Yeah. These
Kids,
are
it
facts.
doesn't matter. Or probably some laws that I'm not aware of that, countries made that they had to change stuff in bad ways, but there's a lot going on, maybe stuff we don't know. But what I do know is that this kind of censorship is just hurting their own platform.
Right.
Also, note to TikTok, you know that 8-year-olds know what the words kill and die mean, right?
Oh my gosh.
Like they understand the concept, they know what that means.
don't
You
start.
don't
Don't
have to
start.
make people say something else.
Don't start it.
You
You
don't have
just
to ban the topic. It's just it's pretty it's pretty useless.
yeah.
They just say a different word and everyone understands that. What are you
Like
gonna do? Make them say something else? It's
like
useless.
and if you think about it, like in school, they don't take like when they talk about history. Let's go with history. I know specifically my history class that they used to talk about killing because we used to talk about um World War II and the genocides of Jews.
Hmm.
And I know for a
All this
fact,
important history stuff we need to know.
yeah, but you don't see that in a history books calling people unalive. It just don't make sense. And I don't understand where that came from that we can't say murder or kill. We have to say
I don't understand it either.
I
And
don't
I'm
it,
worried that it's gonna end up spreading and in 10 years we're gonna get Disney movies for kids where it's like, no, no, you're not allowed to say the word die in a Disney movie. That's absurd.
and then now, I feel like it's gonna come down in a couple years, not even 10 years. I feel like the rate censorship is going. They could be like, no, he's just sleeping. When we clearly know that boy ain't coming back up. Hey, we
We
know he
stop
ain't.
we're gonna see a resurgence in the falling out of an airplane and exploding and then going, I'm okay.
Yeah, like
But it's
it's
gonna
just
be worse because it's gonna
we can
we
clearly
got over
tell.
that. We got over that, guys. We realized it wasn't necessary and we stopped. No need to do it again.
No, or we're gonna get to that point where the wheelhouse screen it's gonna be like the main comment thing. You know the wheelhouse screen from like Star Wars and
Hmm.
stuff like that. They're
Yeah.
like when a stormtrooper gets out, they're like, well, you could be like, we clearly know you did because you made that scream, but still, it's gonna be that kind of scream every time a movie
Mm.
happens. That's gonna indicate that somebody is not living with us no more. like, what is the point with all this going? Oh, and then just imagine it's on YouTube now. Damn, let's think about it. If it's on YouTube and on TikTok, then what's the next big thing that's gonna be possibly be on? Movies. And just imagine you going to a theater and let's say this. Just imagine you go to a R-rated theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
R-rated theater, kids are not even supposed to be there. But it's the same. But you also got to think, censorship is not just for kids. It's for dang near everything that they don't want the words to be used, or
This is true.
words or phrases to be used. So just
It's an
imagine,
arbitrary form of control.
yep, just imagine you go to, let's say, I go watch Fast and Furious 17 in the future, and they can't race cars no more because it's offensive to Mother Nature, and they over there riding bikes. It's just you gonna be like, what the heck am I watching? And it's gonna be like, that's a censorship. I can't even look at a car no more. I have to look at people riding. What is interesting is in that, and I feel like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, remember that period where or I forget, did they Disney got over that thing where they weren't allowing like limbs being chopped off in Star Wars, right? I can't Did they get over
Oh,
that? You know what? Yeah, no.
oh,
We saw some people get cut up in Kenobi, I think.
did we?
I think so.
I don't
I'm
remember that.
struggling to remember right now
Because I would probably remember that. Because
because I remember being excited about it. There was a thing with a laser gate.
Kenobi was I love Star Wars. Kenobi was one of those dudes like, yeah. The only thing I remember out of that whole entire show was when Vader force stopped that ship and brought that mug down. He was like, he walked in there all menacing.
The
Blah.
main moment I remember is him dragging Kenobi through those flames.
Oh my gosh! I thought Kenobi was about to.
But yeah, we're getting off topic. There was
Oh,
that time where Disney refused to, you can't play a Jedi in a video game and cut off stormtroopers' hands or anything like that. It was lame and unnecessary. Like the people playing these games are used to that sort of thing. They were
right,
there, they were the ones watching the Clone Wars cartoon where the Jedi had competitions to see who could cut off the most heads.
right.
Like it's ridiculous.
I
There
think
was
it.
no reason to censor the game like that, any
I
of
don't.
them.
I think it's still doing with that censorship. To be honest with you, because if you watch the latest Star Wars movies, um, you don't really see any. Because you gotta remember back in the old prequel, before Disney bought Star Wars, hands was coming off, heads was coming off. It's
Getting a
Django,
limb chopped off was a Skywalker staple.
yeah, Django Fett got his head decapitated in the middle of a battle in the middle of daylight by Mace Windu. You don't see that with the dude. That's another form of censorship. All these flipping Jedi are kind of
And
weird.
it's not even like it's a gory, bloody mess like a, rated R Michael Myers movie or
Oh
something.
no,
It's
no,
literally the wound gets cauterized like instantly.
yes,
It's just a stump that isn't very graphic. There's
yes.
no reason. It's just unnecessary.
I guess it's because of emotion, because you don't want people going around with their heads cut off. I mean, their arms cut off. But come on now. But I'm
They get cool robotic limbs. It's okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, and it's just, what world are we coming in that we don't know what the next thing is getting to? Shoot, this Pokemon thing I have right here. See, give it a camera shot that through. This Pokemon thing gonna be right here, right? What if this gets censored? You be like, why is this getting censored? Well, next thing you know, Pikachu can't say Pika Pika because it might be offensive. Next thing you know, that you can't say I don't like Taco Bell because that might be offensive to people who like Taco Bell. What can you say in this world that we about to come to? What can you say?
I don't know, man. The world's going crazy over here.
That that is 100% bad. That is 100% bad.
My hope is that they'll just start backing off pretty soon. Personally, I think it might be up to advertisers as far as the internet censorship goes, because it'll probably take a group of them going, yeah, we don't really care about this, and this straight up to allow YouTube to sort of ease on those policies because they're worried that they're going to lose money. P.S. You're probably not going to lose as much as when all your top creators start leaving for something else.
Right. You're gonna lose a lot of money for that. And then let's ask this question. Do you think the censorship is going is like right next to the cancel culture that's going on right now? Do you think that they tie into each other? People don't want to get canceled, so they gotta tread light what they want to say.
What was the first part of that?
Okay, so you know the cancel culture, right?
Yeah.
So what I was saying is, do you think the cancel culture and the censorship go like with each other? That people don't want to say certain things because they don't want to get canceled.
Mm, not necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
especially because a lot of the censorship is stuff that has sort of always been censored, like profanity, for example. No one's getting canceled for profanity, but that is something that everyone's having to censor now,
Right.
more so than 5, 6 years ago. I think that it can go hand in hand for some stuff, but no, not really, because people I notice most people who would be worried about that don't necessarily care, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like I would say the people with the highest chances of being canceled aren't censoring themselves anyway.
Right.
But not only are they not censoring themselves, they're probably going out of their way to be offensive in some cases.
Right. Right. And the reason why I asked that is because when okay, let me give you an example. How do you feel about the Hogwarts Legacy game in your opinion?
Uh like the game itself or like just the controversy around it.
Let's do the game itself, then the controversy.
Looks cool.
Okay, but
As far as the controversy goes, I do not think the fact that J.K. Rowling will be profiting off the game at some points should negate all the other hundreds of people who have been working on it.
that's what I was
Like,
going. That's what
the
I was
game
thinking.
doesn't deserve to bomb just because one shitty person is going to make some money. There's tons of good people who worked on this game,
Mm-hmm.
and they should be able to, have some, good stuff about that. They should make their profit and whatever's attached to that, be able to go and get other good jobs afterwards.
Right.
There's no reason to say that everyone associated is a bigot just because there's one bigot around.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And the brigading just doesn't make sense.
It
And
doesn't.
that's another thing where I say again, Twitter is a cesspool. They do this all the time.
Yes. And Twitter. Oh gosh, Twitter is so backwards. It is. Uh, Now before we get off, what is the craziest censorship stories that you have witnessed? Like, give me an example of something that's so off the wall that you have heard from like a video or anything that you was like that did not have to be censored.
That's actually part of my last thing, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me that they're trying to censor all these Roald Dahl books. He's the guy that wrote, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and The Witches and I think James and the Giant Peach and all those good classics.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some examples of the censorship going on in these books right now. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Augustus Gloop is now called enormous instead of fat. Is it me or is that actually much worse?
That's
Like
worse. I feel like that's.
much worse.
I'd rather be
Like
called
like
fat than enormous.
yeah, like enormous? That's rude. That's
Like,
extra rude.
that's like you
Like
if you just read
that
the
gone from a statement to bullying.
no like if you read the like the text if you like never seen the movie and you just sit there and read it, you like describing how Justin Gloop is a white Swedish male that is enormous for his size. You would be like, ain't that boy
Right.
huge? Then
Right.
if you say fat, he could be like, oh, yeah,
Right.
because
Right.
he can be fat. I'm fat, but yeah, go ahead. That's
Here's
stupid.
another example. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Oompa Loompas are no longer called small men, but instead called small people. Now, I have you seen both versions of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movies?
yes, yes, I have.
Are the Oompa Loompas not all played by men?
Yes, they are played by
As
men.
in, it's implied there are no women in their society?
I have clearly seen that, and
What's the point of this change then?
I,
I don't understand.
I don't understand the for the change. The change.
The same thing happens in James and the Giant Peach with cloud men being turned to cloud people. I
They
don't
don't.
understand.
They don't like the word men. I don't
Yeah, you know
understand it.
what? Let's just stop there.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
not say anything else about that.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
in The Witches, the narrator notes the witches are bald underneath their wigs. A useless line is added to say, there are plenty of other reasons why women might wear wigs, and that is certainly nothing wrong with that. Yeah, duh. Children understand that better than adults do. At least the young ones.
Right.
Some older kids are sociopaths, but I digress.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm not saying everything in those books aged well, but it's important that we maintain our understanding of the past and like how people thought back then, rather than censoring it and taking that viewpoint away. We should be teaching children that it was a different and bad viewpoint, especially since people still hold that viewpoint today. And if we don't take the time to educate children on how some things in the presented in the past are wrong, we're actually just gonna have a bunch of adults passing on the stuff that they learned that wasn't good onto children,
Mm-hmm.
who are then going to pass on their
Well,
bad beliefs to others.
yep. Yep. This generation is low. Right? Let me not get started. And let me tell you that the funniest censorship is, in my opinion, is the funniest and best censorship. I don't care what nobody say. It's the snake of the play censorship when Samuel L. Jackson talk about he tired of these MF and snakes on this MF and plane. Do you remember the time when they changed it and said, I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday. Y'all, if y'all never seen Snakes on the Plane, this was back on
Oh my
sci-fi when
gosh.
sci-fi was so. Do you remember sci-fi? When
Oh
sci-fi
yeah, I
had
remember
all the
sci-fi
movies,
was on
all
that
the
all
good
day.
movies, yeah. So Snakes on the Plane was on sci-fi a lot. And this was back when like they was making the movie PG-13. They were trying to live with the cuss words. So they said in the original line, he said, I've had it with these MFM steaks on this MFM play. We all know how
Ironic.
South we know how know how Sam Jackson got to add an MF in there. I think that's how he got famous, to be honest with you. And then, but if you listen to it, I mean, everybody go back and listen to that thing. They say I had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday train. Wait.
Uh,
Oh gosh, that's so
I,
bad.
I got one more funny censorship story. I went with my mom to Virginia to visit my aunt once, and it's the middle of summer or something, so it's super hot and soupy out there. So my mom and I are just dying in my aunt's apartment while she's at work, and we're watching TV. And that movie, Where the Millers, comes on. You know the movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know the word Miller.
So it's just on TV, so it's censored, of course. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching, slightly annoyed because they keep beeping stuff out. And as I'm dozing off at night, I notice the audio just cuts. So I'm like, wait, huh? What happened? And I look, and one word escapes, and I go, that entire string of like 30 to 45 seconds was just cut out because of how much cussing was going on in it. I have to say, like, watching it that way is a lot funnier than this story. And I was dying. Honestly, that might be the only way to watch that movie now because it's jarring to see how much they had to. They may as well have just cut out the entire scene
I feel like they must have because I know what you're talking about. It's that what it's that, I can't remember what it was. I know what you're talking about. It's that one thing.
when they were in
Is
Mexico.
yeah, they was in Mexico and then all you hear is they was like talking. They talking. It's silent. Word silent. I was like, what? What?
Absolutely killed me.
All right, let's close it out.
All right, man. We love y'all. Y'all should love yourselves. Let's all get out here and make some waves.
Make some waves. Make that move. All right.
Cause chaos.
Peace.
Peace.